How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So, the day has finally come. Halloween Ends has come out, and I saw it on the premiere night, Thursday night. And yeah, I have my thoughts, but before that, warning, I will talk about spoilers, specifically the ending. So, I recommend everyone watch it for themselves before a review, make your own judgment. But it's I'm leaning more positive with this one, which may surprise some of you. I know this movie is getting like divisive, like people like hate it and that sort of thing. But of course, I'll give my thoughts and opinions. So, the plot, it's of course Laurie, our everyone's favorite final girl, and just so it's been 4 years since Halloween Kills, and Michael has disappeared since then. You know, no sightings, that sort of thing. But in the beginning, we're introduced to a character by the name of Corey, and we're shown what they say was Halloween of 2019, and that he accidentally kills a kid that he was supposed to watch. And so Corey is kind of like hated by the community, right? It's like, oh, you killed that kid, when we saw it was really like an accident, or it was not meant to be. Like, he wasn't trying to kill the kid. He was locked in a room and he shoved the door open and it hits the kid and causes him to fall down, like these stairs, like 2-3 floors, and of course he dies. So Laurie is living with Allison, her granddaughter, right? The only survivor from the last movie. Because Allison's mother, Laurie's daughter, died right at the end, which for some reason she went in the house and Michael kills her. And yeah, so they're living together, and Laurie sets her up with the Corey guy, Corey Cunningham. Nice nod to Sean Cunningham of Friday the 13th fame. But yeah, she tries to set him up because Allie has like some ex who's like a cop who the dude looks way too old for her. And yeah, so they're getting to know each other. But then we come to find out that Corey, he finds Michael by, some mishap, right? Some problem with some high schoolers. He finds him, but Michael lets him live because the idea is that he stares into his eyes and he probably sees the same thing that Michael himself sees. And so this is where people don't like this movie, is that admittedly Michael Myers is not in it much. For most of the film, it's Corey doing the eventual killings and that sort of thing. And they kind of set him up like the duo almost, or he's like a mentor. He's like, show me how to do it. But that's in the movie's defense, I appreciate that. I like that it's made to be realistic. You guys have to remember Halloween 2018 and Kills. The director specifically in the interview mentioned that Michael is not supernatural, which, okay, that's ironic because at the end of Kills, we know he gets beat up. And you're like, he gets shot, like beat. And this dude's like 60, he's like old as hell. There's no way any human would survive that. So that's still okay, sure. But they claim he is not supernatural. So I appreciate that. In Halloween Ends, Michael's old. Like, he can't really do the same things he can anymore. But it does make it so that the eventual final confrontation with him and Laurie is balanced, right? Because it's like, okay, she can take on a geriatric 70-year-old Michael Myers. But yeah, so I like it for the consistency, right? Like that realism. A lot of people don't. They're like, oh, we got robbed because, he's not in it much. But he does kill. Michael gets out there. Like, he does. Yeah, not much, admittedly. I'm pretty sure he kills, like, less than 5 people. If I'm being generous, I think it's, like, 3. But he does. And it's nice that at first it's like he just meets Michael. But then Corey, like, fights him, trying to be like, give me your suit. And he eventually, like, takes the mask from him. But again, Michael's older, so he is able to overpower him. And Corey goes on some killing. He gets revenge on those high schoolers I mentioned that were like giving him trouble. And all the while, Laurie is like also stalking him. I will say that is weird in the story. That like she was the one that was like, yeah, I think her granddaughter Allison and Corey could get along. They could have a bond, like a mutual traumatic experience, trauma bonding, that sort of thing. But I guess at the same time, maybe I think the idea is that she notices that he is essentially like Michael Myers. He's falling into the darkness, right? Like becoming evil personified. But it is weird. Like one scene that sticks out was like Corey's in the house where the kid he killed, right? That happened. It's abandoned. He slept there. And Laurie's there. Like, at first I was like, is it like a dream thing or they're trying to make him crazy so he imagines he's talking to Laurie? But no, it's like she's actually there. Which, again, no explanation how she would be. Because later in the film, it does show Laurie, like, stalking him, kind of like at a radio station. I do believe that scene is later, so it's not like you can say, oh, they showed it earlier. Her being there was weird. But I will say, I appreciate the film's originality. Again, it's like being that Michael now is like older and he uses this kid or like a team up sort of thing. That I appreciated. I know a lot of you are gonna hate it. That's okay. We all can have opinions. And the ending. So yeah, I can't believe it, but they actually did it. They killed Michael Myers. Now, big asterisk because this is just the Blumhouse trilogy timeline, right? Which is connected to the first movie, right? So it's the first movie, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. So this timeline, Michael Myers does die. But that's it. You guys know in 5-10 years, they're going to reboot it. Essentially, this was the end of the Laurie Strode story. This pretty much, it feels like the end. Because she finally kills Michael Myers. And I'll give him props for that. That was the one outcome that I was like, oh, it'll likely be... I thought they were both going to die. Or that Laurie dies, but Michael lives, right? But no, they did the one that I said, hey, kudos to them. Laurie lives, Michael Myers dies. And, he dies, so yeah, she, essentially in the final fight, right? They have their tussle. She stabs him, slits his throat, lets him bleed out. And you would think, oh, but he'll come back somehow. No, to definitively put it to rest, they grind this dude's body up. They grind it like a meat grinder type of thing. So he is dead. No way he's coming back. Again, they said it's not supernatural, so Michael Myers is gone. The one thing I can't agree with, a lot of people are like, oh, it would have been cool if Corey was set up to be like the new Michael Myers, right? Or continuing that legacy. But then he also kills himself in a weird... So I get it, because it was the whole, him and Allison start to grow close, develop a relationship. But he then becomes kind of twisted of if I can't have you, no one can. And then he goes to fight Laurie dressed as Michael, and that's where in the trailer she shoots him. It's Corey, not Myers. And yeah, she shoots him, he's bleeding out, but then to make it seem like Laurie killed him, he kills himself, which was a weird choice. Would have been, hey, Blumhouse could have continued with him. Again, the Michael Myers is dead, but they could have gone on. But yeah, as I said, this just feels like the end of Laurie Strode, and I think they did a good job. The movie isn't perfect, but I will say it had good pacing, because the movie is almost 2 hours. It's 112 minutes? It did not feel like that. It had some tight editing, some nice ones, it'll be like a slam, and then it switches to a spaghetti being splattered, so kudos to the editing, whoever did it, did a good job, I think so. It did not feel long. It honestly moved at a good pace. But I can understand people being disappointed that Michael Myers is barely in it. Killing-wise, it's decent, but Like, compared to Kills, like, he went crazy in that movie. But again, Halloween Kills is flawed in the sense that just going for dumb, like, oh, just I want to see some kills, that's the movie for you. But then story wise, it falls apart. I mean, the whole Evil Dies Tonight is just bad. This one, I think, story wise, a lot more sound, but kills, that sort of thing, not so much. So if I had to give it a rating, this is a hard one. I was really debating what to give it. I'm gonna say 8. I was gonna say 7.5. A lot of people probably give it lower, but I enjoyed it. Again, you have to go in knowing that this is the end of Laurie, of Jamie Lee Curtis probably playing the character. She's older now. She's in her 60s. This definitely feels like the end because she got to kill Michael Myers, and it's her, like saying goodbye to the character. So in that sense, I think they did a good job. I feel like I'm gonna be in the minority because I see this movie has like low ratings, reviews, but I enjoyed it. And let me know what you think. Have you seen it? Are you gonna check it out? Do so for yourself. Of course, come to your own conclusions. And hey, just let me know in the comments what you think. But as always, guys, I make new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. If you like this type of content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.